Did you just park your car facing the wrong direction? That was the first thing Karen shrieked at 7:12 on a Tuesday morning. I was holding a cup of coffee, bleary-eyed, watching the steam curl up from the mug. My only crime? Parking my car the wrong way on my own cul-de-sac. But Karen wasn't just a neighbor. She was the self-appointed queen of our HOA, though technically she was just the secretary. She carried a clipboard like it was a scepter, patrolled the sidewalks as if she were sheriff, and sent out violation letters so fast you'd think she had a printing press in her living room. Everyone on Willow Creek Lane had a story. She fined the Hendersons $75 because their Christmas lights were still up on January 3rd. She demanded Mrs. Patel repaint her front door because it was too red. And she once threatened to call animal control on the Parkers' golden retriever because his barking disrupts the peaceful harmony of the neighborhood. It wasn't harmony. It was a dictatorship. The final straw came when she went after the Wilson kids. Tom and Sarah Wilson had two little boys, ages 8 and 10, who rode their bikes up and down the street after school. They weren't loud, they weren't dangerous, they were just kids, laughing and racing. But Karen decided their chalk drawings on the sidewalk violated the HOA's aesthetic standards. She sent the Wilsons a letter demanding they pay a $100 fine and cease all defacement of public pathways. Chalk drawings, SpongeBob with a crooked smile, hopscotch squares, doodled flowers. To Karen, that was defacement. Sarah Wilson cried in the front yard when she read the letter. That's when the neighborhood snapped. We started calling her Clipboard Karen behind her back, though she wasn't oblivious. She thrived on conflict. She wanted us to argue. That's how she kept her power. But one thing Karen never expected was that her reign would collapse under the weight of her own hypocrisy. See, Karen had a habit. Every Friday night she hosted book club in her backyard. Now, we all knew it wasn't really about books. It was 6 of her friends, sipping margaritas so strong they could knock out a horse, cackling and shrieking well past midnight. Nobody complained, though. Not until she went after the kids' chalk. That Saturday, we held a secret meeting. Neighbors gathering in the Hendersons' garage with lawn chairs and bottled beer. We didn't need torches and pitchforks. We had something better. Proof. Tom had snapped a few pictures the night before. The so-called book club had turned into a karaoke nightmare, complete with neon strobe lights and a drunken rendition of Sweet Caroline that echoed across 3 blocks. He even caught Karen herself staggering across her lawn with a margarita pitcher in one hand and her dog S-leash in the other. That was all we needed. The following week, when Karen strutted into the HOA board meeting, clipboard tucked under her arm, lips pursed like she was about to scold the entire town, we were ready. She began as usual, reading off her list of violations like she was announcing indictments in court. Lot 16, grass exceeds regulation height. Lot 22, Christmas decorations remain in view past January 1st. Lot 9, sidewalk chalk drawings in violation of the HOA standards. But then, Tom raised his hand. "Excuse me, Karen. I think you forgot to mention Lot 4. Her eyes narrowed. "And what's wrong with Lot 4? He pulled out the photos and slid them across the table. "Noise disturbance, after-hours parties, excessive lighting, and, if I'm not mistaken, open containers in public view." The room went dead silent. Karen's face flushed a furious shade of red. "This is outrageous. That's different. That's private." "No," Sarah Wilson cut in, her voice shaking but strong. "You don't get to bully our kids for drawing on the sidewalk while you throw all-night parties that keep the whole neighborhood awake." The other neighbors murmured in agreement. Even the HOA president, who usually stayed quiet to avoid Karen's wrath, cleared his throat and said, "Frankly, Karen, these photos show clear violations. We can't enforce rules on others and then ignore them for ourselves." Karen sputtered, waved her clipboard like it was a shield, but she had nothing left. The hypocrisy was undeniable. The vote was swift. She was stripped of her secretary position and barred from filing any more independent complaints. The neighborhood changed overnight. Kids chalked up the sidewalks with rainbows and hopscotch. The Hendersons put up Easter decorations in February just because they could. The Patels painted their door the brightest shade of blue they could find. As for Karen, she still lived on Willow Creek Lane, but without her clipboard power, she shrank. She sulked in her yard, occasionally muttering about property values. But nobody listened anymore. Justice wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic. It was chalk drawings on the pavement, laughter in the cul-de-sac, and neighbors finally free to breathe again. And every time I park my car facing the wrong direction, I do it with a smile, just for Karen.